By using a debit card and getting scammed or getting your identity stolen, you might have a loss in funds for a few days, or maybe even a loss in funds. Welcome back to another banger. Back again with another video. Today, I'm gonna go over a question that I've been asked is, what's the difference between a debit card and a credit card? Don't they just work the same? No, they don't. If I was you, I'd cut up your debit card. You don't need that. It's gonna bring you nothing, or only have one. You don't need a debit card. You shouldn't be spending money on a debit card unless you're getting money out of the bank from an ATM. But obviously for this video, I'm gonna go over credit card versus debit card to give you the pros and cons of both. I just want to say thank you for clicking this video because you will learn a lot of gems. So credit cards versus debit cards. It depends. My advice is it depends on the individual. If you have horrible financial intelligence, a credit card will just dig you down a hole that you won't be able to get out of, or you will, but obviously it will, but it will take a lot of time. So if you have bad, horrible spending habits, I do not recommend you get a credit card. I obviously recommend you get a debit card or a prepaid card that you can just prepay in advance. But if you can handle your finances, credit is the best option. It's the best tool. You can get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit to help boost your business, to help you start a business, to help you get that new car that you've always wanted, to get a house, to even get an apartment, or even a new phone when it drops. So if you have good financial standings, I 100% recommend a credit card. Firstly, we're gonna understand credit cards. Credit cards is a form of payment that you use, but it's not your money. What you're using is the bank's money. It's pretty much a loan from the bank. They give you access to these credit cards so you can pay off things that you might not have the money, or that you didn't want to put your own money down into. But the thing with credit is sometimes people think it's a bad thing, but the banks like giving credit because they get paid a lot of credit. They get paid so much of interest rates, so that's why they love credit. Credit is not a bad thing. Banks want to give you credit. So as long as your report's in order, the banks are going to throw credit at you. And another good thing about the credit cards is the convenience and the security. Sometimes you might not have all the money in the bank at the time, but you can just swipe your credit card and make the payment. The credit card also gives you an opportunity to build your credit because it's going to add history, payment. It's going to add history, age, and it's going to show the banks that you are capable of handling credit, so your credit score will rise by using credit. Also, the credit card gives you bonuses, like sometimes 0% interest, free travel, or cash back. The possible drawbacks on a credit card could be accidentally having a late payment and it tremendously dropping your credit score, or getting into debt that you don't have the money to pay off. Or sometimes some credit cards have super high interest, or you get a 0% offer and you make a late payment and they raise the interest up a lot. And you might have the temptation to spend a lot more than you have in the bank because you have all the money in credit. You might have the temptation to spend the money in the bank. And an interest rate on a credit card, depending on how big the credit card is, if it's only $1,000, an interest rate of 20% per annum is not much. It's broken down into 12, so you're only paying like 1 to 2% a month on the balance that you carry. Okay, now we can talk about debit cards. The good things about debit cards is it's personally linked to your money, so you can't overspend. You're only using the money that you have in the bank. The advantages of debit cards is really only spending what you have in the bank. And obviously, if you don't have good financial intelligence, having a debit card is good because it limits your spending. The disadvantages of a debit card is one, the security. If someone finds a credit card and uses it, you're gonna be out of that money for a few days because it's your money, it's not the banks. The banks don't really care like that. You will get the money back, but it will take a long time. And then if you don't have the money in the account, you will get an overdraft fee if you do spend over. So those are a few of the disadvantages of a debit. So when you break it down, a credit card is good if your financial intelligence is good and your financial habits is good, because building your credit score should be the goal of all Americans. You should hope to build your credit score because it will give you access to so many more opportunities in the financial space. Building your credit score is important. By using the debit card, you're not going to build your credit. By using your credit card, you're going to build your credit, and your credit card is going to get its limit increased because you're using the credit card. So when you are using that credit card and you want to build your score, you got to make sure, one, you're making on-time payments, and two, the utilization is below 10%. So that means if you have $1,000 credit card, making sure you spend below 10%. You can spend more than 10%, but by the end of the payment date and statement date, you got to make sure it's below 10%. And on the other hand, a debit card just doesn't do the job like a credit card. And with the credit card, you have so many more rewards. You can get free flights, you can get free accommodation, you can get gift cards, you can get cash back. Pretty much anything you can buy with credit card points. Okay, so for most importantly is the fraud protection. So if you do not make the charge, you have zero liability in paying that, unlike a debit card. So by using a debit card and getting scammed or getting your identity stolen, you might have a loss in funds for a few days, or maybe even a loss in funds. So it's important to figure out your goals to really see what works for you, because using a credit card will give you access to credit in the future, so you'll be able to reach your goals if they're only getting held back by money opportunities. By using that credit card, it's much better than using a debit card, because a debit card, it just doesn't have the ability to grow, only when your money grows. So it's important that you're using your credit card in a way that it is building your score, and you're making sure you still have them good financial habits, that you're not overspending. But again, if you do have trouble with that, I recommend getting a debit card, because that will limit you. So if any of this information was useful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm honored to be sharing some of my knowledge with you guys, and I hope you like it. You can DM me on Instagram at onlyupisaac for more information if you want to get access to these credit cards. I'm helping entrepreneurs and anybody looking to get a 750 plus credit score with at least 50,000 in credit. 0 to interest credit, even better. Okay, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Only Isaac.